we've got more triumphs and defeats from all the things happening in the Olympics in Paris, from the pool to the court, even to the grass with soccer. Obviously, we've got it all covered for you.
Yes, and we do want to start with some local flair here because we've heard this name a lot in our newscasts before. But we can tell you, in the women's canoe slalom, North Carolina native Evy Liebfarth took home the bronze today. Two 20-year-old overcome with emotion following her run today.
Yeah, she's far from done at the Olympics as well. She'll compete in the new sports that's generating a lot of buzz, kayak cross, and that's on Friday morning, guys. She wasn't even a year old the last time an American woman stood on the podium for canoe or kayak slalom, so this is a big one.
Yeah.
I love watching those two.
Well, I'm excited to see what's the cross.
Yeah,
the cross one
how
we
they
previewed.
Start?
Yes.
They're like on this platform and they like drop them in the water at the same time. It's like crazy.
And then off they go. And it's pretty, I mean, there's a lot of speed to it as well. So it's something you have to keep your eyes peeled for. But it's great to see her bringing home the bronze. And I know there's so many people in North Carolina that look up to her. She's got a huge platform, so I think this is only going to help her.
A lot of great whitewater training facilities. We got the Whitewater Center here, but you got Nantahala, there's Whitewater Center out there as well. So this is why a lot of these athletes train in this part of the country, because we have some of the best whitewater.
My first and only whitewater experience was on the Nantahala.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in Girl Scouts.
There you go.
Great experience up there. That's a cool course over there if you've ever driven over by that nature center and the outdoor
but
center.
hey, put it on the list, right?
It's hard to get to. It's kind of off the beaten path, but it's really cool over there.
Well, let's go to the court. Jason Tatum starting after he wasn't even in the rotation. He did not play in the last game. Team USA scoring a big win against South Sudan, 103-86. In this game, LeBron becoming the third U.S. men's basketball player to score 300 Olympic points, joining KD and Carmelo Anthony. So that moves their record to 2-0.
And Charlotte native Steph Curry had a tough night, scoring 3 points. Really, I mean, it's a bigger showing than when we saw them play South Sudan last night.
And got to give credit to JT Thor, Hornet, on South Sudan. So they really have played well in this. They beat Puerto Rico. They upset them, and they played well in this game. I think the spread was like 30 points. Which was lower than the exhibition game, but they really fought pretty well. Bam
Adebayo, who grew up in Eastern North Carolina, as many as you know, he had a big night. He actually led the entire team with 18 points. It was a pretty balanced effort for Team USA, though. They will play Puerto Rico on Saturday. So big things. Obviously, they have their eyes set on gold, and it seems like they're all playing very well right now.
Yeah,
so
if you watch again, I watched a lot of that game today, and actually, it's just they look different. They look like they're on a mission, and it's kind of weird to see the NBA guys actually kind of take this really seriously. I think the last couple of Olympics and World Championships, I feel like the NBA guys just showed up and think, we're just going to show up and win. The rest of the world, good. There's NBA players on all of these national teams.
Australia.
So they've got to play. And the one thing I noticed, they played defense. It was not like watching an NBA game because they were all playing defense.
103-86.
Or an all-star game.
I mean, normally
where
the
it's all
scores
just
are
putting
around
up the
100.
points.
I mean, and LeBron, he's, 39, right?
He's leading that team.
He's running he's playing with a lot in and it's really amazing.
I said it 2 days ago. He should be playing in the Big Three League with his age.
Yeah. Well,
he's leading
They need
Team
some help
USA.
in the 3-on-3 in this Olympics.
Yeah.
As good as the 5-on-5 is doing, the 3-on-3.
Yeah, the lack of coordination, I guess, we're seeing with the women on the 3x3. So as we pivot here, the team action today in Azerbaijan, look at a rebound from the loss in Game 1. That rebound didn't happen. It really, unfortunately, didn't even get any better.
Yeah, they actually won on a wide open layup. Azerbaijan did. They lost 20-17. So they still have some games ahead of them, though. The next game is going to be Thursday against Australia, and then they have Spain. So they have a doubleheader. They play Spain in the afternoon, Australia in the early morning. So, by the way, did you guys know that Miss Burdick was a former intern for Robin Roberts of GMA?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
She was talking a little bit about
That's
that.
pretty cool. Yeah, the men lost today, too, and it's like, so the men and women's 3-on-3 have both lost their first 2 games. And they're out of it, but they're in these 16 pools, so they still have 2 more games, and their margin for error is lower, but they both could still qualify if they win these next 2 games.
It's wild.
Well, and we talked about yesterday, I guess, how the 3x3 and the 5x5 are different, just how the setup is. And I guess with the women's team, they really only had 2 weeks to kind of get together and work together before this.
With Cameron Brink going down. I mean, and that's all it's about, cohesiveness, how long you've played together. You got to know where that other player is, or the other 2 players are around the court. And unfortunately, it's taken a little bit of time, but maybe they'll get back to speed. So.
Yeah, it's basketball, but it's different than most
basketball
because it's 3-on-3.
It's like pickup.
Yeah, and it's nonstop too. So like when somebody scores, there's no in and out of bounds play. It's just you go right back and you're just playing continuously. So you can't turn your head for a second. It's really it's fun to watch, but you can see how a team can catch you off guard if you're not ready.
Well, let's go to this. The pool. 12 medal, tied for the most by a U.S. woman, Miss Katie Ledecky.
Beast.
Man, if you're looking forward to watching this tonight, you should be. We're not going to give away a spoiler alert, or about to, I should say. So if you have a chance to turn down the volume, we'll give you a second. Do so or look away briefly. Please do that right now. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay.
Look away. Look away.
Look away.
Yeah, so, I mean, Katie Ledecky, what can we say? I mean,
it's true.
She's cementing herself as one of the greats in the pool.
Yeah, if Simone Biles is like the GOAT of gymnastics, Katie Ledecky is that for swimming. She's just
Her and Michael Phelps. Can't forget Phelps.
Yeah.
She could surpass Michael Phelps.
She could.
Medals, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about her is, she does a lot of these intermediate and long distance races, which looks exhausting, by the way, when you watch this. But because of that, she's so fast and consistently fast that you'll watch this tonight and you'll see her and you're like, where's everybody else?
Well,
because she's so far. She'll be lapping people.
Spoiler alert, 10 seconds between her and the person who came.
So the camera angle, you see her and you're like, where's everybody else?
10 seconds.
Well, she was 5 seconds faster than her previous Olympic record.
That's right.
In this event. So it tells you how fast she's flying, and then she's continuing to increase her skill.
Yeah.
So when you watch at the beginning, they're all even, and what she does is so unique about swimming, and I've watched a lot of swimming, is like, she's fast, but she's not super fast, but she can maintain that speed for such a long period of time that everyone starts trailing off, and she just keeps going. It's like being a marathoner and being able to run full speed the whole time.
Well, I mean, I had to get the calculator out, admittedly, for this because I wanted to know 1,500 meters, like in our concept here in the U.S., what would that be? 16 and a half football fields.
Yeah, that's almost.
Hopefully my math was mathing there, but that's
crazy.
a long race.
You remember, it's Olympic-sized pool is only 50 meters long.
Well, right, and
so
think about
imagine 1,500.
One revolution around the track is 400 meters.
Yeah,
so think about how long that takes.
And swimming is exhausting. It is just. I mean, those are some serious athletes.
I wasn't very good at it, but I can attest. Well, because you want to breathe, right? But like you're under the water for most of the time while you're swimming.
The thing that people don't understand. Like you understand that swimming is difficult, but the way they breathe, they have their head underwater most of the time. They're just going up to suck in air.
Yeah.
They're expelling the air underwater so they don't waste any strokes. It's amazing.
It is. It takes a lot of coordination. All right, turning now to the U.S. women's soccer team. They are now on their way to the quarterfinals after taking down Australia 2-1 yesterday. They were in top Group B, so this is not a surprise. They should be here, right? And this is great news for them as they're starting to kick up their play as well.
Yeah, they're going to take on Japan Saturday morning. I guess perhaps a bit of a wrinkle. It sounds like midfielder Sam Coffey is going to miss that match because of the yellow cards.
Yes. Oh, that was what we're watching
that little snippet.
They've got a couple midfielders, I think, with one yellow card right now. It's two, and they don't want to get another one because then they'll have to sit out the next round.
Yeah.
And what's amazing, we expect the women to be here, but I think what's been kind of a quiet and surprising story, the men's team has qualified as well for the quarterfinals.
That's right.
So you have the men and women. I think it's the first time I saw since like the 40s or 50s they both have qualified for the quarterfinals. So pretty amazing that we'll be able to watch both. The men take on Morocco, I believe, in the quarterfinals, which should be amazing. And the thing about the men, this is the U.S. women's national team. It's not the U.S. men's national team. All those players are 23 or younger, and they only can have a couple players over 23. So it's our younger generation playing for the men.
So where are they coming from then? Like, is it like college?
MLS, but they have to be 23 or younger. Yeah. So it's usually the developmental players that you see in there, and they can have, I think, up to 2 players over 23, but most of them are all 23 and under. So it's unique. The men's side's a little bit different. It's not our complete U.S. men's national team. It's the younger players on the team.
Brad's our soccer nerd.
I love soccer.
I mean,
I know you can tell.
I mean, it bodes well for the future with all those young
Yeah, that's what I think is exciting. And it's a smaller field. I mean, they qualified for the first time in many Olympics to even be here. So it's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, we know that sometimes when a younger generation comes in, that does mean that an older generation has to come out. We are turning to tennis now, potentially the end of an era on the tennis court. Rafael Nadal might have just walked off the court for the last time at an Olympics game.
What a run. Here's his span. He won gold in Spain in Beijing and then again in Rio in 2016 for doubles. So obviously he was eliminated in men's doubles with Carlos Alcaraz. He has a record 14 French Opens, 22 Grand Slam titles, the world's third-ranked player. I mean, this guy has a resume that not many other players can say they have.
To me, it's amazing.
Well,
3 Olympics. I mean, that says it all right there.
I was looking at the 2008 was when he won the gold in singles and doubles.
Wow.
Once again, calculator, mathing.
Wow.
16 years ago, which is hard to, you know.
When you think about I remember the Beijing Games so vividly, and to think that it's been that long since, that's crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
Wild stuff.
We also know, like, he's been pressed, of course, after, you know, this recent performance about, you know, retirement. Is it coming? And I think he's still kind of.
Yeah, we'll see. He's still a great player, though.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, we are turning to this. Topping a lot of headlines right now, Egyptian fencer Nada Hafez just revealed that she is 7 months pregnant and just competed at the Olympics. She made it to the round of 16 this week before ultimately losing.
Yeah, following that loss, she posted on Instagram saying that she was carrying a little Olympian one. She's a 3-time Olympian to go along with that. So that is a crazy story, something I'm sure she will tell her young child later on in life.
It'd be amazing to say, I was in your belly when you were in the Olympics.
Went to the Olympics.
Story.
That is amazing.
That's a little one.
That is cool.
So,
and fencing is one of those sports that
oh my goodness.
You don't think you get into it, but then you watch it.
It blows my mind.
And you're like, wow, this is really, really
How
cool.
fast they're moving.
Yeah, that takes some skill.
Did y'all see Snoop?
Yeah, I saw
trying to fence.
Oh,
He's everywhere.
a little everything.
Is he our national mascot now? Is that?
Well, he was not very good at it, but he would be what I would expect myself to be putting on fencing gear.
Well, he's really
He was
tall,
just like batting
too,
everything
so he has
down.
a big target, so it's like easy to get him. You got to slow down, make that target real small.
Oh my.
Well, Olympic hype continues tonight on primetime here on WCNC Charlotte. We start out with Team USA men's gymnastics competing in the all-around competition at 9. From there, we've got even more swimming finals to get to.
And as we alluded to a little bit earlier in the stream, the women will compete for the gold in the 100 and 1500 meter freestyle, and then the men's turn with the 200 meter butterfly. We do hope you stick around and stay tuned on air for our late newscast at 11.
And for a full lineup for anything Olympic related, we've got you covered. And on the on-air streaming schedule right now on our homepage, all of that there. Just log on to WCNC.com. We'll see you in about 13 minutes at the top of the 7 o'clock for a news update.